Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to solve some basic percent application problems. They call it solving percent sentences. This is a one sentence problem, in other words. So we have some learning objectives. So first, we want to be able to identify the unknown in the percent problem. So you know what you're looking for, right? Then, since there are only three parts in the percent problem, we have examples to solve each part of it. That's why we have three more after the first one, being able to identify the unknown in the problem. So let's get to it one by one. First, we want to identify the unknown amount in the percent problem. So let's look at our first example, but keep in mind, for all of these percent sentence problems, this is all you need to do. A percent of a whole thing is a part. That means no matter how big this part is, a part is a percent, is some percent of the whole thing. That's all we need. This is common sense, right? Now, example one, for each basic percent sentence, identify the unknown amount as the percent, the whole, or the part. So we just need to identify it. We don't need to solve it. Now, the first one. Here. %30 of what number is 64? Now, whenever we have a percent of problem, percent of something, this something is always considered to be the whole thing. That means the thing that after comes after percent of this phrase is the whole thing, always. So there is the whole thing. So unknown is the whole. The whole thing is something unknown. So that's how we identify this. Now B, what number is 30% of 80? See, percent of, this is the whole thing. This is a percent. What is missing in that general structure part? We only have three components in the percent sentence. Percent itself, identified by percentage symbol, the whole and the thing after percent of, and the other part is the part. The other component is the part. So we are looking for the part. The unknown is the part. This is the part. This is 30% of 80. So whatever this is, it's only 30% of this whole thing. Now see, what percent of 72 is 12? Apparently this is whole 72 is whole thing. This is the number after percent of, right? We are looking for percent. This is a direct tell us, right? So we're looking for percent. This is our unknown. So after we are able to identify the unknown in the percent problem, we are ready to solve each of those three components. Just keep in mind percent of when we set it up to set it up an equation actually to solve this percent sentence problems. Percent of always means multiply. So let's look at our first example. Translate to an equation and then solve. This is our first one. 60% of 40 is what number? We don't know what that number is. That's our question. That's our unknown, right? But just call it X. Now reread this whole thing using X. 60% of 40 is X. That's what? You just write down what you read. Very easy. Percent of means multiply. 60% of 40 is X. That's it. You just write what you read. Now we just solve it. 60% itself is 0.6 times 40 equals X. When you multiply this is 24. Then you solve it. Then you answer the question, you say 60% of 40 is 24. That makes sense because 50% means half. Half of 40 is 20, right? This is a little bit more than half, little bit more than 20. Makes sense. Now B, what number is 110% of 40? So we're looking for this number. This is wrong now. So label it as X. You can use any other variable, but in this video, just like as we just use X. So X is 100% of 40. X is 110%. Percent of means multiply 40. So X equals 1.1. 110% is 1.1 times 40. That's what is that? 44. So let's use a calculator. 40 times 1.1. 44. So 44. So 44 is 110% of 40. That makes sense because 100% means whole thing. Whole thing is 40. This is more than 100%. So more than 40. Now C, what number is 15.2% of this mixed number? It doesn't matter the decimal or mixed number, the structure still remains the same. We're looking for this number, this is our X. X is 15.2% of this number. Now, when you multiply them together, we convert both to decimals. You can keep this one as a mixed number if you want. Let's round it in the end so that we can control the rounding error. 15.2% is 0.152. Remember, percent to decimal is divided by 100, or you can move decimal digit to the left 2 places, times. For multiplication with fractions, we need to change this one to mixed number. So multiply and add to the numerator. This is 60, 61 or 3. Now you can multiply these two together and divide by 3, and that's our answer. So 0.152 times 61 divided by 3. We get 3.09 and many other digits. We just keep 2 decimal digits. Keep in mind that when you do your homework, you do the final answer rounding according to the requirement. Now another objective, solve for the unknown whole in the basic percent sentence. Remember there are 3 components in the percent sentence, the percent, the part, and the whole. The previous examples are solving for the part. You see, this is the whole, this is the percent, this is the part. Now we are solving for the whole. And guess what? The way we do it is 100% the same. It's no different, no matter what is the question. So 32% of what number says that the amount after percent of is whole, right? But for us, it's just unknown, it's just X. So write down what you read. 32% of, percent of means multiply, X is 12. 32% of X is 12. Now, 32% is 0.32 times X equals 12. To solve for X, we need to get rid of 0.32. So we just divide by that on both sides. Cancelled. So 12 divided by 0.32. 37.5. So 37.5. Then you answer the question. 32% of 37.5 is 12. That makes sense. This is almost 1/3. 1/3 of 36 is exactly 12. But this is less than 1/3, a little bit, but it's a little bit more than 36. So it makes sense. That's 12. Now 16.5 is 2% of what number? We're looking for the whole because this is the number after percent of. So we don't care. This is X. 16.5 is, make sure is equal before you write this 2%. 2% of X. So this is 16.5 basically equals 0.02X, that's 2%. Now to get X, we divide by 0.02 on both sides. so that we can cancel this one. So let's say 16.5 divided by 0.02. What do we get? 825. So this 16.5 is 825 times 2%. 2% of it. Now the last one, we're solving for the percent apparently. What percent of 240 is 60? Again, for us, it's just unknown, no difference. Whatever we're looking for is just unknown, this x. You don't need to write x percent with percentage symbol in it because x is a variable. Variable can represent any unknown, can represent decimal, can represent fraction, can represent negative number, can represent percent, can represent any number. So percentage symbol is built in. So x percent of 240 is 60. X percent of means multiply 40 is 60. Now to find x, we need to get rid of 240. So divide by that on both sides, cancel out. X equals 60 divided by 240 equals 0.25. Since we are looking for the percentage, we need to convert this decimal to percent. Remember how we did that in the previous video? We just multiply this by 100% to bring in this percentage symbol. We simply do this part of multiplication, that's 25%. Many teachers teach this part that you just need to move decimal point to the right 2 places and add percentage symbol. And that is true because when you multiply 100 by any number is equivalent to that you move this decimal point to the right by 2 places. Yeah. Now we just have 2 more here. And what percent? X percent. 17.64 is what percent? X percent of means multiply 84. So we divide by 84 in this case. Cancelled. X equals 17.64 divided by 84. Double check. We got 0.21. Nice number. Converted to percent is 21%. Again, we just need to move this decimal point to the right 2 places. Now the last one for this video, what percent is X percent is 15 out of 40. Out of 40, just of 40. So X percent is now pay attention to this. This is a little bit different. 15 out of 40 is not times 40, okay? Like 15 divided by 40. This is the whole, this is the part. Or if you can write it this way, you don't have to write this percent as the first item in your equation setup. And X percent is 15 out of 40. In other words, 15 is X percent of 40. It is similar to that. 15 is X percent of 40. 40 is the whole thing. 15 is part. This is the percent. So we divide by 40 on both sides. Cancel out. 15 divided by 40. Let's do the calculation part. 0.375. 0.375. When we move 2 digits to the right, 37.5%. So 37.5% is 15 out of 40. And that's all for this video.